Hello guys. Welcome to my channel, Jura Tempest Federation. In our previous episode we have witnessed the semi-final and last match of Day of Martial Tournament. If you have not watched the previous episode, I will put link in description below. The quick warning, this video contains spoilers from light novel. But before we proceeding further, please like, subscribe to my channel and hit notification bell for further update. So now in this video we see what happened next. This is the final episode for chapter 3. Now without further delay let's proceed further. And so, although another unplanned episode interrupted the second day as well, the celebration ended smoothly, and according to plan. 6 of the matches had been fought out, with the remaining final taking place tomorrow. Masayuki vs Datta, a surprising matchup. Thankfully, the excited audience flooded the night market, skyrocketing sales. Masayuki's groupies were singing his praises, and some self-appointed experts were commending Geld and Carrion. On the other hand, some fanatics gave Datta their approval too. Folks joyfully chatted about their expectations for tomorrow's match. Dinner time was no different. The guests were divided into several tables, where they would enjoy their meals. The topics of discussion were naturally all related to today's matches. That man named Kai seemed to be quite famous, and Datta having defeated him became quite the hot topic. In addition, people were also looking forward to tomorrow's final showdown. It was the same at our table. It was awesome. Sure enough, Masayuki-sama looks handsome, even while just standing. Is that so? I like Sensei more though. Geld-san really got some moves. He was so rad. He didn't even flinch when defending against the ferocious attacks of Lion Mask. That's true. He was able to take on that Lion Mask's attacks. They were so strong. Lion Mask got so many cool-looking moves. I want to learn them too. Gale wants to learn it as well. Me too. Yes, me too. Alice only loved Masayuki. Chloe had no interest in him. The teenage boy legion led by Kenya seemed to think Geld was quite cool, but Carrion seemed to be more popular. I suppose it was only natural. After all, Lion Mask was like a superhero. Well, I was learning much from the children's behavior. I placed down the dishes for the meal today. We weren't eating any set meals this time. Instead we were having a fried shrimp special. The main dishes were hamburger meat, croquettes, and fried shrimp. These were dishes specifically served for children. In truth, I really enjoyed it as well. A nobleman would naturally have servants, but there was no need to worry about such a thing here. That was because we set up screens that provided fairly good soundproofing around each table. It was very tiring to follow the stringent table etiquette, so I had ordered people to apply such measures from the second day onward. That's why we were just going to have fun, eat, and chat. The kids were all riled up after watching the day's matches, whereby their cheerful moods stood to prove how well our entertainment had worked. Although I was uneasy about the match tomorrow, worrying too much wouldn't help things either. Carrion, sitting at the next table, was grinning, likely after overhearing the children's conversation. There was also a severely unhappy Milim. A soundproof screen was probably little more than a paper cloth to these people. Whatever we said here, they heard clear as day. Although, I could hear their voices as well. Haha, looks like they were charmed by me. These kiddos have good taste. What are you talking about? You couldn't even win a match like that. Ah, don't put it that way, Milim. I was performing quite well already, even with much of my strength held back. How disappointing. Did you lose your pride as an ex-demon lord? Hahaha, there's no such thing. I already had some good fun with someone I wanted to fight, so I had no interest in winning afterwards. That makes me jealous. Yeah, I probably should have participated with a disguise as well. These voices belonged to Carrion, Midley, and Milim, respectively. If Milim were to participate, I would have pulled all of the stops to intervene. Hold on, that ain't it, Chief. That's true, Milim-sama. I can't believe someone as noble as Milim-sama would want to participate in such a tournament with a disguise. Carrion and Midley felt the same as they began to calm Milim down. What noble quality does she have anyway? Never mind, I won't hold a grudge against them for that. Let's put that aside, we should go watch the final tomorrow. Oh, are you already done with the labyrinth? Everything's foolproof. I'll join Rimuru tomorrow. Should I accompany you? I won't be going. I got invited by my subordinates to go out. It's quite regretful that I won't be able to attend the final, but I've decided to take a stroll around town tomorrow. Milim was going to watch the match tomorrow as well. Carrion intended to travel with the Beastketeers, leaving Free alone to watch over Milim. Thank God the only thing left was the final. Milim seemed to be looking forward to more of the labyrinth demonstration later, so I shouldn't worry about her. Speaking of it, had I known how interesting the tournament was, I should have participated myself. Haha, by the way, what were you doing all day? Mid-Lee-sen spent the day at the opera house, Free remarked. It looked like she had been there as well. She knew that Mid-Lee stuck around at the opera house, so that must have been what she was up to. Knowing that someone enjoyed it that much, our nation's band members would probably be delighted. Ha! You mean the stuff that bored me to sleep yesterday? Carrying a savage man like you probably doesn't understand art. Free, for crying out loud, do you have to put it that harshly? Which one was that supposed to be? The concert, Milam. It was the type of band that Clayman would have been proud of. They played beautiful music. This country is training a band as well. I figure that, as opposed to Clayman's band, the one here was better. Oh, I didn't know you had that level of understanding. That didn't sound like a compliment, or... That's no surprise, since it wasn't one anyway. You still gotta be just as mean to me as before in any case. Even Ramina's felt that way. For the entire afternoon, the best seat of the opera house had been taken by her. I don't think you can really comprehend those music pieces with your level of artistic taste. Seriously, that Ramina's, did she actually come as well? Heh, I like music too, you know. Their enthusiastic chatter carried on like that without end. It was so nice that they were having such a fun chat. And so, I listened to everyone chatting on and on. By the way, what would you do if you were to fight that boy called Masayuki? Hinata asked me out of the blue. She cut to the chase without a warning. If that were the case, I guess I'd just have to fight him then. Rimuru-sensei is going to fight with Masayuki-sama. Sensei is really strong, but I think Masayuki-sama is stronger. How? I think Sensei is stronger. Hearing my conversation with Hinata, the children began to argue over which of us was stronger. Alice and Kenya were defenders of Masayuki, the rest were supporting me. Since I had one more person on board, I felt that I had won at that moment. Right, but honestly speaking, even I couldn't tell how strong that Masayuki guy is. You must treat him cautiously, there's no mistake about it, was the advice Hinata gave me. It had to do with Hinata's skill, and although she couldn't give me too much information right now, she seemed to have investigated Masayuki for me. It turned out that Masayuki seemed to be an opponent that even Hinata had trouble reading, although, most likely he would get defeated by me. Hinata uttered in provocation, with a smile at the end. What followed was a lot more worrying. That's true, I think Big Sis Hinata won't lose to anyone. Though I don't want to admit, Big Sis Hinata is super strong. I don't think anyone can win against Big Sis Hinata. I think so too, that's right, even that lion mask would definitely be no match for Hinata-san. I didn't expect the children to come to the unanimous conclusion that Hinata was stronger than Masayuki. They had a disagreement when discussing me and Masayuki, yet they had a consensus on Hinata. A flash of annoyance overcame me in that instant. But Masayuki, unlike a certain person, would probably want to talk to me first, so I don't have to worry too much about it. Feeling a bit sour, I carelessly let that out in front of Hinata. What's that supposed to mean? That one sentence changed the atmosphere immediately. I had stepped on a major minefield. And it's an obvious mine that I stepped on. Nothing really, don't mind me. I'm right here if you want to fight. Hinata-san, why are you so impulsive? By handing over my pudding, I managed to quench her anger after this slip-up. That was a huge cost for an unnecessary line of words. But, just as you said, Masayuki can indeed be easily reached. Yuki also said that he's Masayuki's guardian. At most I can come out and ask for a favor, though that is very unlikely. Masayuki will probably lose during tomorrow's match. I can't deny the possibility. However, his opponent will be Datta. That guy always fails during crucial moments. More often than not, he could wield his strength if he just followed his usual combat routine, yet this is the type of scenario where he would come up with boneheaded ideas and mess things up. That's the type of person Datta was. He would probably do the same during the final. How strange, did Raphael-sensei want to say something, or was I thinking too much? Never mind, it probably wasn't anything important. Moreover, by contrast, the more important thing was the battle between Datta and Masayuki. Datta could summon Ranga, by any logic, he had the upper hand. If we assumed that Masayuki were to win against Ranga, he would definitely be a threat to us. Although, personally, I didn't feel even the slightest bit threatened by him. In my opinion, that child called Datta had some outstanding qualities as well. Yeah, I'll admit, Datta does have some fighting talent, but this is Datta we are talking about here. As long as he fought normally, he could win the match. But Datta often did unnecessary things that messed with his fights. Alright, I'm looking forward to tomorrow's match. Hinata stopped discussing the topic at that point, and instead went on to happily bring the children to the night market. Please don't spoil the kids, I asked Hinata internally. Well, Hinata had her flaws, she probably really cared for me. I appreciated her intentions greatly. If Datta were to lose, we would have to figure something out. I had already made up my mind regarding that outcome, so nothing worse would probably happen. Compared to that, I should enjoy the festival at hand. There were still tons of problems, and much work to attend to. Still, I felt very fulfilled every day. With this happy feeling, I readjusted my mood and departed to meet with Gazelle and the others for our nightly gathering. That's it for today, guys. See you next one. For further more update, please like, share and subscribe. And do not forget to push notification bell.